Hi everyone. In today's challenge, we are going to solve this problem. The problem name is buddy string and the problem number is 859. Alright guys, so as usual, first of all, we are going to clearly understand this problem statement. After that, we are going to move to the logic part. We are going to see how we can solve this problem. What is the logic to solve this problem? And after that, we are going to move to the implementation part. We are going to implement our logic in C++, Java, Python and JavaScript programming language. Fine guys, now let's see what this problem is, right? The problem says given two string s and goal, return true if you can swap two letter in s so that the result is equal to goal. Otherwise, return false. So simple guys, we are given two string. First of all, one is s, second is goal, right? And this is string one, which is given us. This is string two, right? Now guys, what we have to do? We have to swap exactly two character in this s string. We have to swap two character in this s string, and after that we have to compare with this goal string. If they are same after swapping, then we have to return true. Otherwise, return false, right? But we have to do, we have to just swap a two character in this s string, and after that we have to return not return. We have to match with our goal string. If both are same, then we have to return false, or return true. Otherwise, we have to return false, right? So let's see the next line. Swapping letter is defined as taking two indexes I and j such that I should not equal to j and swapping the character at s of I and s of j. So guys, in this line, simple they told what is swapping, right? And how to swap. So guys, let's say s is nothing but a b c d, which in it is given in the third line, right? So let's say s is abcd. Now we want to swap it, right? So we first condition, we can't take a same indexes to swap. Like you're swapping a with a only, you're swapping c with c only, you're swapping d with d only, right? You can't do like that. You have to take exactly different character. Not I mean by different character, I mean a different indexes, right? The character could be same, but indexes should be different. So s a stand at 0 index, d at 1, c at 2 and d at 3. Like this is the indexes, right? So what we are going to take, we are going to take 0 with the 2, right? We want to swap 0 indexes with second indexes, right? So we have to take exactly different indexes, right? So if we do swap, that means second character will come at 0 indexes and 0th character will come at second indexes, right? So you can see now c will come here, b will here, a will here and d will here, right? So this is nothing what we are going to get after swapping, right? Now we have to compare this string, this result string with the goal string. If they are same, then we have to return true. Otherwise, we have to return false. Simple thing, guys, right? So let's see the examples and then we are going to try to understand easily, right? So in example one, we are going to have input s is equal to ab and goal is equal to b, right? So that means now we have to swap two character in this s string. So how we can swap? We can swap ab to ba, right? We can take 0 and 1 character to swap, so it will become ba. And you can compare ba with goal ba, both are same, so we are going to return nothing but true, right? So we have swap, and after that we are getting a same result with the goal, right? So we are going to say it's true. After that, in example 2, we have ab again, string ab, and goal is also ab. So guys, now we have to swap. There is no we can say condition that you can't swap. You have to swap, that is sure, right? So how you can swap? In ab you can't swap with the same character, right? You have to take a different characters and you have to take a different indexes, right? So you can't swap with different we can say same indexes. That will be a better line to tell. You can't swap with the same indexes. You have to take a exactly different indexes to swap, right? So this is 0, this is 1. So for swapping at 0, we have to take a different index, that is nothing but only 1. We have only one option, so we are going to swap with 0 with 1. We are going to get ba. So BA is not equal to goal AB, so we are going to return it false. In the third example, we have A and goal is also A. Fine. Now here the confusion will easily we can say close. So you can see guys, here we have A here and we have to swap it. So I have told you that we can take a same character, we can take a we can say same indexes, right? So this is 0 indexes, this is 1 indexes. So I'm going to swap with 0 with 1 indexes, right? 0 with 1 indexes swapping, then I will get same string A and A. So, but I have swapped it, right? I have fulfilled the condition. I have swapped it. Now I am going to compare this A with our goal, which is nothing but also A. So we are going to say both are string same. So we are going to return nothing but true only. I hope you are getting it, right? I'm doing a little fast because this is easy level problem, right? So you can easily understand. Just you need a little words of my, you need just little my words so that you can have a little graph from the problem. But I know guys, you can easily also solve this problem, right? So we have seen guys what we have to do, right? We have seen what this problem says, right? So now what we have to do, that also we have seen almost, but we are going to see in the logic part that what is logic gonna be, so that we can solve easily this problem by writing the code, right? And after that we will discuss the time complexity as well. So guys, now what we are going to do, we are going to say logic. Fine. Now guys, how we can solve this problem? So as this is easy level problem, you can't expect much more like bigger algorithms like DFS, BFS, anything else. A simple thing, guys. Think about this. Can we solve it just using a loop, anything else? Yeah, we can do it. Like, so what first thing what we are going to do, we are going to save, guys. We are going to save first of all traverse over first of all check. the first condition, the basic condition is going to be checked. Both strings should have a same character, right? Both strings should have, not same, both strings should have a same length, right? If S has two character, so B should also have two character, right? We can say this. So we can say check length should be same. Length should be same. This is going to be the first condition. The second condition is going to be nothing but, guys, we're going to traverse over any of the string. We are going to traverse over this particular, say, let's say S string. So we can say for I 0, I less than S root length, right? Now on each in this loop, what we are going to do, that we have to see, right? So in this loop, what first of all we have to check how many characters are present which are different with we can say goal, right? As we know that length are going to be same, so we're going to compare zeroth character of S should be equal to zeroth character of goal. One character of means can say first indexes of S it should be equal to the first character of goal. Second indexes of S should be equal to the second indexes of goal. Keep going in, right, until and unless you have I less than equal to S dot length. So you have to compare each character of I of S with we can say goal, and if they are same, then cool. If they are not same, then you have to compare. Then you have to say count, or you can say difference should be one, right? You have to count how many character which are different with the goal, right? If that difference character is more than 2, then we can say return directly false. Means there are already three different character or more than two different character. So if we swap one time, even though we will not able to get the same string with the goal, right? There's directly 0% possibilities to get the same character with the goal, right? So give an example. Let's say take an example. Let's say A B C D. This is our S string, right? And let's say goal string is nothing but we can say C, and here D, and here let's say A, let's say B, right? So this is our goal string, right? So you can see, guys, the number of we can counts which are mismatched with this S and goal. So you can see A and C are not matching, right? So we can say the total number of difference character is 1. B and D also not matching, 2. C and A also not matching, right? So 3. This is matching, fine. So we got three characters which are not matching with, or we can say we got three, we can say indexes where S of I and goal of I is not matching, right? So you can say we have to directly return false, because even though we can swap any two character, let's say I swap this C with A, right? Now you can see C and C also matching, but still B and D will not match, right? So if we have a mismatch count is more than 2, then we can directly return false. So in this loop, we are going to check same thing. We will keep checking out the difference. If any time difference come greater than 2, then we are going to return directly false, right? And the second condition which we are going to do is nothing but we are going to check how many times S came. Not S, how many times a particular character in a S string came. Like here you can see this will helpful in example 3. We have 2 times A, right? So we are going to say okay, A came twice. So that means if any of the character came twice in a string, that means we can say one, we can make one variable false, that is duplicate. We're going to say that variable now is going to be true, right? Initially it was false, now it's going to be true. Why? Because if we found zero mismatch character and we have one character which is coming twice in a string, so we can replace with that only, right? We can say replace with this, because order does not going to affect, right? If you can see AA, if you want to replace A with A, then still you will get A only, right? So when difference is 0, when mismatch is 0, and we have a duplicate characters in our S string, so we can replace with the duplicate character, and we can say we have completed the swap as well. Now we are gonna return true. So we'll get a better understanding this whole thing with the code part, but I hope you are getting it. The first condition, we have to check length. Length should not be equal. Then we have to keep counting the mismatch character. If they are if the mismatch characters are greater than 2, then return false. And the third condition which we are going to do is nothing but we are going to check how many duplicate character present in S. If there is at least one character which is having a duplicate, which is having coming twice in S, then we have to make one variable true. Duplicate is equal to true, right? Now, guys, at the end, once this is done, we are going to come out from this for loop and we are going to check if our mismatch is 0 and duplicate is true, then we are going to return true, right? Why? Because mismatch is 0, but we can make a swap with the duplicate character itself and we can return true, right? And the second condition which is going to come is that if our difference is equal to 2, that will always going to be right, because if it is more than 2, then we have already written false in our for loop, right? So if difference is equal to 2, then we have to check the first difference character should match with the second difference character of goal, and second difference character of S should match with the first difference character of goal. If this is the case, then we have to return true, otherwise return false. This is what I'm doing. What I'm saying, let's see with this particular thing only. So let me make this string right now for now. So here, guys, I'm going to write C, D, and B, right? So guys, this was nothing but we can say A was here and C was here, right? I hope it makes sense, right? So what we're going to do here in this string, let me make it screen above. So guys, in this string just we need to count the mismatch. So here A and C are not matching, so I say 0 index we have one mismatch. B and B matching, C and A also not matching. First index we have mismatch, not first. Second index we have mismatch. Third index also everything matching. So we got a mismatch at 0 and 2, right, indexes. Now we are going to check S of 0 should be equal to goal of 0, goal of 2, right? Is it the case? You can see S of 0 is A should be equal to goal of 2, which is also A, right? And S of 1 should be equal to goal of S of 1, not S of 2. It should be equal to goal of 0. Is it the case? S of 2 is nothing but we can S of 2 is nothing but we can say C, right? And it is equal to goal of 0, which is nothing but C. Yes. So now you can see this is both conditions are true. Then we are going to return nothing but true. So you can see now we can return true because you can see S and goal are same. So I hope guys now you can see you have seen already what we are going to do in our implementation part. So let's move to the implementation part and let's see how we can do this with the Python, C++, Java, and JavaScript programming language. Fine guys, let's move to here. So guys, here I am first of all with Python. Let's quickly do one thing. Check first of all if length of S is not equal to, let me write this, length of code, right? So we can directly say return false, right? But if it is not the case, so we are going to check one thing. We are going to first of all see guys that in Python I'm going to show you one different way, but in C++, Java, and JavaScript we are going to use we can say big of one space only, right? So we can say here I'm going to say if length of node s, if s is equal to a, node a goal, we can say, right? If s is equal to goal, and we can say length of s, here we have to use and operator, and length of s is greater than our length of set of s. What it's going to do, it's going to check if our string is same and we have one duplicate characters, then we're going to directly return true, right? I hope it makes sense. So here we are using this function because set, because we have enabled in Python. So we are going to do this, but in Python, in C++, Java, and other programming language, we are going to use an array, right? We will see that also. After that, what we are going to do, we are going to traverse over this for I in a. Before that, we are going to define two variables, first and second. Both are initially -1, and after that, we are going to say find the difference. So we can say difference is going to be nothing equal to 0, right? So we are going to use now for I in range of length of s, and here if s of I is not equal to goal of I, then what we are going to do, we are going to say difference plus plus, and here we are going to say if our first is equal to -1, then you can say first is equal to I, and else if second is equal to -1, then you're going to say second is equal to I, else you can directly return false, right? Now what we are going to do, we are going to say fine, you have to return, you have to here return s of I, s of first should be equal to goal of second, goal of second, and s of second should be equal to goal of first, right? Let's run this code and see whether it's working fine or no. So we got one wrong answer at second index, which is nothing but we can say a or b, and that is we are returning true because there is no mismatch, right? We have to, but we have to swap it, right? So if we haven't checked one condition here, what is that? That is difference. If difference should be equal to 2, right? And this, let's run this code. Now you will see fine. You have seen guys all the test case passed. So let's try to submit this code as well, right? So let's see, and you can see guys we have successfully submitted with Python programming language. Fine. Now let's move to the next programming language, which in nothing but we can say C++. And here guys, first of all we are going to check if s dot size is equal not equal to goal dot size, then we are going to directly return false. After that we are going to make one array, or we can say one vector of int. The name I'm going to give nothing but count, and here we can say 26 character, by default value 0. Fine. After that we are going to say int first is equal to -1, second is equal to we can say -1, and last is nothing but we can say difference is initially 0, right? Then we are going to say bool, and here we are going to say duplicate. Is there any character which is present twice in a string? That is initially false. Now we are going to traverse it. For int I is equal to 0, I less than s dot length, s dot size, and I plus plus. If s of I, or we can say we can use a plus plus count operator. If plus plus count, and here in count we can count is our vector, right? Count which index, we have index is going to come by s of I minus a, which is going to give a value. If it is a, then 0. If it is b, then 1, so on up to z. If it is z, then it is going to give us nothing but 25, right? Fine. If we are going to increment it by 1, and we are going to check it, if it is greater than 1, means this character has come twice, then we are going to say duplicate is equal to true, right? Duplicate is equal to true. And now we are going to say if s of I is not equal to goal of I, means character mismatch. So first of all implement difference. Then you are going to check if first is equal to minus 1, then you can say first is equal to I, and if else if we can say second is equal to minus 1, minus 1, let me write minus 1, then what you're going to say, you're going to say second is equal to I, else if it is not the case, means there's more than two characters, so we're going to return nothing but false, right? So that means nothing but we can say second, if we can say we found that mismatch is coming more than twice, then we directly returning a false. So in this outer condition we're going to check either you count, not count, either your difference should be equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, then you should have duplicate, and only we can return true, right? Fine. But in all conditions, here I have to write and condition, it should be the case, right? If difference is 0 and duplicate is there, true, then only return true. Otherwise, yeah, one more condition, if difference is equal to 2, difference is 2, then what you're going to do, you're going to say and your s of goal, s of I should be equal to goal of, not s of I here, s of first should be equal to goal of second, and s of second should be equal to goal of first, right? And after that you can directly run this code and see whether it's to fine or not, right? So let's check it. So you got see that we got an error that in the method we have used semicolon, right? Now let's see. So you can see guys all the test case passed. So let's try to submit this code as well, and I hope guys it should also get submitted. So it successfully got submitted, right? So let's move to the next programming language, which is nothing but we can say Java. And here first of all we are going to say if s dot length is not equal to goal dot length, so we can return directly false. Then we are going to say int first is equal to -1, second is equal to initially -1, and third initially, no third, we can say difference initially -1. Right, once this is not -1, difference always going to be 0, right? And here we're going to say boolean is duplicate. Duplicate is equal to initially false. Fine, and here we are going to make one array, int array new in 26 size, because at max lowercase data can be 26 only, right? After that we are going to use a loop for int I is equal to 0, I less than s dot length, and I plus plus. First of all check is the character coming twice this time. So if plus plus count, what is the AR, let me give a name count, right? Count is relatable. If count of s dot caret, and here what we are going to do, we are going to say count of caret I, if this character minus a is plus, we have already plus plus, if it is equal to 1, then you have to make duplicate is equal to true, right? Fine. And after that we are going to say if our s dot caret I is not equal to goal dot caret I, then what we are going to do, we are going to say fine, first of all increment difference, then you are going to say if first is equal to I, first is equal to -1, that means first is going to be equal to I, else if first is equal to 1, not -1, but second is equal to -1, so second is equal to I, else you are going to say return fast directly, because it is coming third time, so we don't want to have mismatch more than 2 times, right? So right, once this we are going to come out from this condition, we're going to say return difference either should be equal to 0, and if difference is 0, then duplicate should be true. Otherwise, if difference is equal to 2, and we can say s dot caret of I, not I, first should be equal to goal dot caret second, and s dot caret second should be equal to goal dot caret first, right? After that you can simply run this code and see whether it's working fine or not, right? So let's see that as well. So we got on one error that in what we can say s dot length, right? So undefined method length, so we have used something, you can see guys, spelling mistake, len let me write length, right? Fine, now let's run this code. Okay, You guys can see that all the rest is passed, right? So let's try to submit this code as well. And by this, we are going to successfully submit it with Java as well. So this problem is really easy, right? As it is a easy level only. So now let's move to the last programming language, which is nothing but we can say JavaScript. So here, guys, first of all, we are going to check if s dot length is not equal to goal dot length. So we can say directly return false. Right. After that, you are going to define let first is equal to -1, second is equal to let second is equal to -1, and goal is going to be nothing but equal to 0. Goal is not, difference is 0. Fine. After that, we are going to say okay, one variable that is nothing but we can say duplicate, that is going to be nothing but equal to initially false. Fine. And we can say last thing is nothing but we can say let's make an array. So const our count array is going to make a new array of 26, and I'm going to say for let I is equal to 0, I less than 26, I plus plus. That in this condition we are going to say our count of I should be equal to 0. Right, we cannot use this particular as well because this is one statement only. So count of I should be equal to 0. Right, after that what we are going to do, we are going to say fine, this is the case. Now we are going to use a loop for let I is equal to 0, I less than s dot length, and I plus plus. And here we're going to check if plus plus is count of which index, s dot char code add in this index of I. Right, this is going to return the ASCII value of I. Minus we have to do 96. If this is the case, if this is greater than 1, then we are going to simply say duplicate is equal to now should be true, and you have to use duplicate. Right, and if the characteristics mismatch, if s dot s of I is not equal to, let me use s of I is not equal to goal of I, then this is mismatch. So we're going to say different plus plus. Fine, and we're going to say if our first is equal to -1, so what you have to do, you have to say first is equal to I, else if second is equal to -1, second is equal to I, else you can directly return false. Fine, after this for loop we are going to say return your difference should be equal to either 0 or, and you can say duplicate should be equal to true. If difference is 0, duplicate must be true. Fine, and or we can say if this is not a condition, then difference should be equal to 2, and s of I, not I, we can say first, should be equal to goal of second, and s of second should be equal to goal of first. Right, now let's see and whether it's working fine or no. So let's see this condition, right? So you guys can see that all the test case passed, right? So let's try to submit this code as well. So here we go, guys, right? So we have successfully submitted with JavaScript as well. So guys, we have already seen the problem understanding part, logic part, and implementation part, right? So if you have any kind of doubt in this section, you can write in the comment section. I'm always there to help you. And if you learn something new in this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Meet in the next video.